Hey, you, it's Jennifer here. This week's message is a result of my sweetie and I going to see the movie Doctor Strange. It was so good, so good. I hope you get to go and see it. I love movies because what they do is they create a creative metaphor that has so many tendrils and bring you into your imagination so you can reach into the other dimensions. Because for me, imagination is not in your mind. Imagination is an access point to other dimensions that already exist. In other words, it's another reality, not another reality that's in your brain that you conjured, but actually another reality that exists in consciousness. Just think about that for a second. So, when you're watching a movie, you're tapping into someone else's version of consciousness, but what it's doing is for a couple hours, it's triggering you out into the cosmos, expanding upon where you've already been. So, what I loved about Doctor Strange is I love so many things, but there was a quote, and the quote goes like this: "You don't defeat your demons, you rise above them." And I mean, that was just one part in the middle of the movie. And it was when, let's say, an ancient teacher, I think she was called the Ancient One, was assisting Doctor Strange um, to evolve. And so, what I wanted to share about that is, at the Wide Awakening, we're all about getting non-linear results. We just really don't care about analyzing or excavating or doing energy work or any of that stuff. Although all that stuff happens in the process, because this world is ready to awaken, what we're looking at is how do we, what I'm looking at, what the collective and I are looking at, and what I've been called to my whole life is not how do we go after those demons. Just think about how much we've all spent time going after those demons. But in fact, how do we embody our superpowers, which is what that entire movie is about, kind of like the movie Lucy, Uh, what that whole movie is about is embodying the superpowers that have us be able to go to higher frequencies. What's missing from this quote, though, is that you do start to live at an entirely different frequency, but you don't rise above them as a human being. It's better than that. It's much better than the movie. The result of embodying yourself, all the work that we teach here. What happens when you take all those superpowers that are waiting for us in the 12 dimensions of DNA and you upgrade your junk DNA and start to expand your corpus callosum so that you're more fully integrated and you use more of your brain? What happens is one of your superpowers, you now have the capacity, one of those superpowers gives you the capacity to actually transmute those so-called demons, those lower frequency demons. So, in other words, you change the energy of them. You shift them into the light like a little gremlin, another movie. The gremlin comes into the light and the gremlin disappears. It no longer has form. And it changes to some other form. And so what we get to do is we get to do the same. I know for many of you, you've probably done some of our work. If you haven't, then oh my gosh, I would love you to come and do our work. But in the meantime, just opening the portal to that's possible, and that as we upgrade, we can transmute thousands of those so-called demons at a time. Just knowing that that's possible is an opening of a portal in and of itself. So if you've worked with us before, so glad. And let's keep going. Let's keep integrating. And if you haven't, gosh, be so great to see you on January 10th. We're doing a free webinar all about living in your expansive flow. and actually what it takes to transmute the old paradigms thousands at a time. So you can go to www.thewideawakening.com/get out intro to register for that. You do have to register, but it is entirely free. Bring a friend. We're going to have an amazing conversation. And in the meantime, I hope you can feel the opening in your body and your multi-dimensions from this message today. Okay, until next time. Mwah!